She thinks she got first today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, her jersey got 5 birds, whatever that means. I act like I know, but I have no idea. It's good though. I don't know. Should I go out and monitor the crowd, let them in one at a time, or?
I don't think anyone's gonna come.
Well, I'll cover it for all of them.
Okay.
I'll be citizen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How many 3 minutes do you need?
I was gonna say, in this case, especially on a budget thing, interactive makes more sense than. But I have a few things.
So, okay, I can just follow this then. Special board meeting.
So for what the public has to look at right now. You've got a 54-page packet, right? That's the last I saw.
Correct.
You got the resolution book, so we know the numbers, right? That one. The blue one. I think it's up to date.
We just passed something in March, didn't we? I wanna say whatever you did last was 6, it seems like.
Is that 6 gun?
6 is the last one that was for
Okay.
the House bill. So this will be
7.
8, yeah, 7 and 7 and 8. The budget amendment has to go first. So that'll be 7. Eight would be the other one. The new budget.
No, we have, no, what do we do about the wage scale? Is that part of the budget?
We already approved the wage
We already
scale.
approved that, okay.
You know, that's true and not true. You did a preliminary approval for the sake of getting further into the budget, but it's still gonna have to be reprinted because it didn't have all the specifics that normally go on it.
Resolution 025-001 was resolution to adopt the wage schedule.
I'd have to look at it and see if it had the parts I'm talking about.
We could always correct them, can't we, if we're,
Yeah,
Yeah, we can look at it later, but I seem to recall it was a preliminary so that you guys could move forward with the budget, that it wasn't totally done.
yeah, it's got the PC members per meeting instead of per, no, that's not right. We changed that to
per day.
per day.
Yeah, there need to be some corrections.
Yeah.
We probably have another one then. I don't know what we're gonna get out of sync with. I thought we did approve that though. I'm not gonna look now, it'll take too long. It's 6:02, let's call the meeting to order. 6:02. Roll call, Gary?
Yeah.
Mary?
Here.
Ken's here, clerk and trustee Bull absent. Everyone, look at the agenda and agree with the agenda.
No.
Okay, what would you like
I think
removed?
there's a couple of, topics that are,
Attachments,
I'm sorry?
attachments.
Or, yeah, excuse me, attachments. One of them is, a couple of attachments that are missing or wrong. The one that's missing is the 25-26 budget resolution.
Right, it's not in the
It's not
icons
in there.
packet.
You,
Ken had it on the desk.
you
for
just
us.
handed it here, so anyway,
But that may not be the one that you had sent by email, so it might be a different
well,
version.
it's not, because I'm just going through it now, and some of the things that we looked at are different. The other thing is the minutes. You got shown in here is, 2020 or 2018, and it should be, March. Should be March 25.
Nope,
No, I'm sorry. That you changed.
nope. I'm looking at what's online. If this is maybe hopefully the same as what you're looking at, you've got the special board meeting minutes from February 22 attached instead of the minutes from March 18.
Well,
And at an earlier version, you had it the other way around. Ken, because we've been looking at this since Wednesday.
right now in here, he's got the board meeting minutes from March 18th.
In icon,
Well, that shouldn't be the one in there.
Yeah,
because it's not, the public view does not have that.
yeah, I know.
So this is a little bit of confusion or disadvantage to have more than one version of several different things are floating around tonight. So how many pages is the packet that you guys have in iCompass? Because I'm looking at the citizen side, the public side.
iCompass, we have
Let me
66.
refresh it again.
We have
see if
66,
something happens.
and I just refreshed this, so that should be correct. And really, I
You've got
believe
66 pages now?
66.
So that is the difference between the February and the March
All you do is have to
meeting
change,
minutes.
change the meeting minutes, and it should equal out. I think.
So in either case, you're planning to accept or reject the March 18 ones tonight, right?
I would accept it with the changes.
February 22nd. March 18th.
So we can approve the agenda with the
With the
25,
changes.
26
Well, why
resolution.
don't I just print off, the right meeting minutes and we'll take care of them.
You know what? I wanna stay with what we have, cause everything gets shuffled around all the time.
You're supposed to do the meeting at the next
Yes, I
meeting.
know that.
Gary, we had the right one.
Okay, yeah, I know, okay.
I
It was
just
his-
delete it. Do whatever you want. What do you wanna do? I'm not, I don't, I wanna move forward, whatever it's gonna take. We're gonna eliminate the meeting minutes?
No,
No,
eliminate February 22 from the packet. Now you're saying your packet shows something different, but the public, if there were 20 people here, none of them would be able to follow you. But there was a prior version of the agenda that had the March in it, so I don't know how that got moved out.
So we have the March 18th minutes, so we can move to approve the agenda with the changes, the 25, 26 resolution that we have here and the March 18th minutes. Is that what, are you good with that?
And Ken, the other
Uh,
thing on the public side is there is no resolution for the new fiscal year. Is that in your side of iCompass?
no, all we have is the handout. I mean, we have it sent together here, but it's not in here at all.
Okay, so maybe just as we go through, if the agenda is slightly wrong, just make sure everybody's looking at the same thing, because right now they're not.
The
Yeah.
24-25 budget amendment resolution is H1. attachment. The H3 attachment is the 2025 budget hearing resolution. At least that's what I thought it was when I,
In my
Opted in.
version,
We've got the,
we've got the amendment in there twice and the new resolution not at all.
right,
And the only reason Gary was able to look at the resolution ahead though, because you had emailed it ahead to all the board. So that's the version that we've had a chance to look at. And then at the table, you brought a new version.
down on H3 where it says you've got this 25-26 resolution. There's some kind of document in here that I've never seen.
Right, that's Ken's spreadsheet.
Is that your worksheet that you worked on?
yes,
I think it's just the wrong attachment, isn't it?
Well, he might want that attachment in there, but nobody else
He-
has
he can
been
use it
working
for
from
his.
that one.
He can use it for whatever he wants to use it for.
That's
but-
more for his personal use, it seems.
I also sent you a copy so you could see where I was coming
Is it
from
the
and what I
same
was doing.
attachment? I mean, that's kind of what I.
Well, I just gave it as a reference so you could see where the things out there that are still outstanding. I don't know how I did that.
Well, we've got this, we've got the 25-26 fiscal year budget resolution that you just handed here. And I'm going through the budget. Just make sure that we've got all the same things on here that we originally decided during our last budget meeting, the board left off. And I think the board should pick up right where we left off before in the last meeting. And that's what the differences that you were plugging in at the same time at the fire station. And those were, Kara did those and then Kara did the updated thing and sent it to Ken. Ken sent it to you, Ken. And then this is what you sent out. The 25-26 budget. So I'm going through the resolution to make sure that what was put in here matches. And then you also gave us something to consider, which we went through, or I went through. And,
You bring something?
Yeah, I heard about it.
you can stick up with this stuff, because
Mhm.
that's what I'm putting in here. Okay.
Yep.
Be careful.
Hmm? Not a quorum.
It's tonight.
Oh. Forget what I said. Anyway. This is always,
It happens every single time.
come on, okay, that's what I got right here. Here's input.
Yeah, that right.
This,
25, 26.
yeah.
That's the right one. That's one Gary's got.
And it's
That's one that was sent out to everybody,
the one that was already sent. Okay,
that I sent to everybody.
all right, because I had.
Right, I gave you a copy of it, right?
Yep.
And then if you want the previous mini minutes, the correct one, they're here. If you wanna look at those and approve those or not, if you wanna wait till next time, I'm okay with that too.
Is that allowed?
Huh?
Is that allowed to push it to the next meeting?
We're supposed to,
Supposed to do it at this meeting, but if we have a problem, I don't see why we can't table it to fix it.
So Gary, you got to look at the March 18 minutes, correct?
yeah,
Mary, did you get a
Mhm.
chance to do
Yeah.
that?
And I looked at it.
Okay, so.
Do you wanna look at them?
I had a chance to look.
Okay.
So you probably can,
Move forward.
I thought there was. It's insignificant, it's fine.
so is that E1 for everybody's version, that the meeting minutes are E1? And
Yep.
it's March 18 now?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll approve the agenda with the changes.
I'll second.
and since you don't have a clerk,
Gary made the motion and Mary seconded it.
Mary made it, Gary seconded
Yeah.
it, yep,
You move to approve the agenda as presented
with the changes, just
With the
adding those
changes.
two,
with the changes to the meeting minutes with.
Yep.
Right?
and adding the 25-26 resolution.
Oh, that's March,
Already 25-26.
March 18th, 2025. Resolution. Oh, 2025-008, correct?
so are you doing the minutes as we go?
Gonna do the minutes as we go. Do as much of them, we're gonna still video it and have it checked.
I think that's a good idea.
So I got a motion, move to approve the agenda as presented with change to the March 18th, 2025 meeting minutes and resolution 25008. Was moved by Gary, seconded by Mary. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Public comments.
Well, I would like to be able to have some interaction because of the nature of what this public hearing is about, when you get doing some line by line things. But a couple of observations that I had, I can go over now or wait till you get into the public hearing. I mean, I guess.
It's probably best right when we're in the public hearing on the line item that you wanna talk about.
Okay.
Just make sure you make time for everyone else.
I'll do
Be considerate of everyone else.
that.
Okay, that was public comment.
But is that public comment done?
Yeah, as long as I can,
What meeting did we the next thing that says March 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes? Was it the 18th or the 25th?
the meeting minutes were the 18th.
Right,
Oh, gosh. Bad day.
I'll move to approve the meeting minutes from March 18th, 2025.
second.
Mary made a motion. Gary made a second. To approve. As presented.
Right.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Appointment to the planning commission. The board to determine the validity of the appointment of the deputy clerk to the planning commission. We got a letter from, or an opinion from the attorney that's confidential. Basically said that Jennifer cannot be a planning commission member.
Guess that's over then. I don't know what we have to discuss.
Just any discussion you have on,
I will go on record to state that I'm always disappointed in all the different opinions, but I understand that's the nature of the beast.
so we're gonna move to, determine the deputy clerk is not eligible to be on the planning commission. Can I get a motion and to that?
So moved.
Second, Gary made a motion.
That she's not gonna be on it.
Yeah, that she's not eligible. That's all we need to say.
I'll second it.
Gary made a motion, seconded. I don't think that's a money thing. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, is carried. Okay, we're gonna move into the public hearing at 6:18. We're gonna be discussing the 2024 proposed amended budget. And after we get done with doing that one, we'll enter into a second public hearing on the 2025/2026 proposed budget. So right now we have an amendment.
One part at a time?
Pardon?
You're doing one part at a time?
We
But
can only do one at a
Yeah.
time. We have to do we're gonna be doing the amendment budget first. Well, the amendment budget, we have a number of accounts that we had to adjust. This was completed on Tuesday. We had a couple questions that we were gonna try to take care of. One of them was to add Great Bear Lake to this resolution at the bottom to put in the revenue of $9,520. I don't know if Becca still planned on doing that.
She can when we pass this.
So we want to add that to that then?
We want to make it equal 9,520. Yes.
Okay, Great Bear Lake.
That's Great Bear?
Great Bear.
Great Bear Lake. They only got 28 people. They pay $340. 20. That's revenue.
Yeah.
We had zero revenue down for that, I think, or we had the 42,000.
We had 42.
That would be the only change we'd want to make to that. Everything else would balance out. There's some, the cemetery, we had nothing for the section salary and that ended up being 17,000 charged to that account.
Right.
And then, the streetlights, cost more than we anticipated. Capital drains at large, I think that was, we got two, billings, one for the previous year, came in April, or paid in April, which got caught onto this fiscal year. That's why that's double. The assessor's salary is actually, got amended, and then I think we had to do her FICA. Because we were doing FICA for Ann.
That's not, we don't do FICA for her,
We don't do it for,
but that was.
the assessor, but we did it
Ann
for
was here.
Ann, and Ann
Right.
cost us that much for that
Yeah.
period of time. So that's why we had to fix that. Building inspectors, came in way over. They must have done a lot of electrical inspections because they're,
Well, the
a
miscellaneous,
lot of activity, $30,000, almost $31,000.
okay, let's back up to miscellaneous. That was way over. And that, what was that because of the mailings that had to go out?
I think that was because of a computer that was purchased, had to be purchased. Wasn't that Mary?
956, I thought that was the, cheat money that we sent back to
Oh,
the
that's
state.
right, that's right.
Yeah,
That goes back to the state.
yeah, that goes back to the state, so it was. That's what that was for.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Well, then you got the fire department training and fees went over. Workman's comp went over what we had, estimated.
That's because we hired a
That
full-time
plowing
person.
for the fire station was, a huge expense. Maintenance and repair on station 2 and that,
Well,
it looks like, North Lake, also went, over on their expenditures that we didn't have covered, but it came out of their fund balance, so it really, we didn't have a good estimate for actual costs for the year. And then we need to add Great Bear Lake, so any other questions on that?
So Mary, Becca agreed with these.
Yep, she put those
Yeah.
in, yeah.
This,
Yep.
everything on this page Becca gave me,
right,
and I just copied and pasted over here.
And that's
Okay.
basically a BSNA report,
Yep,
so.
and that's good.
So I'll make a motion,
what's the number?
07.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, but still next one's gonna be a wait.
Well, I don't think we can make a motion on that, we're having a public hearing.
The public hearing.
Yeah,
Oh, all right,
Yeah, that,
so that's, okay,
So we didn't get any correspondence,
so.
oh, we have someone here.
We have something here.
Hello,
hello,
I-
How you doing?
I thought this thing was Monday and I'm sitting home looking.
Well, you're here. Do you have any public comments on the proposed 24-25 budget amendment?
Not seen it. I only stopped to find out if there was available a top line summary or anything of that budget. I don't know if you have something.
So are you looking for the new budget versus, right now, we're talking about last year's budget?
That's fine.
We're talking about last year's budget. We're talking about fiscal year budget. What we have is all these things. We had, here's our activity,
Mhm.
and it was more than what we had in our budget, so we had to do an amendment, and this is the change that we did to bring it back into being in balance.
No, I really don't have any issues with the budget specifically.
Pardon?
I'm not specifically interested in, any particular line item in the budget. I was just curious to get some idea of income versus expenditures overall, from which major areas. This is great. This in itself tells me a lot. But, it shows all of your expenses pretty much on a top line basis, so. I guess the only other thing, is there an income side of it or no?
126,
If you wanna look at it, this is our general property, this is our resolution, this tells you what, expenditure are for each account. Go through all that, you get that, and then at the end of it, we have the budget for our whole fiscal year with everything in it, and then earning balance would be for where everything is gonna be done in there.
Administrative training and stuff.
All that I was interested in, I have, honestly, I have no particular comments to make on the budget per se, I just needed.
You wanted a copy of it?
I just want to understand, yep.
Okay,
That's the only reason I'm here. And, I don't need to take up any more of your time, I'll let you go ahead and.
okay, well, we're gonna, leave the, amended, budget section of the public hearing at this time then.
Okay.
Unless you have comments, Karen?
I had no issues with the amended one
Okay,
from the prior year.
I thank you very much for this.
Absolutely.
What is your name?
I'm Steve Debo,
what is it?
Steve Debo,
Diebel?
BOLD, just like the locks and safes at the bank.
You know, Steve, if you ever have any questions, you can come in and we can show you.
Oh, that's great, I was generally curious.
Yeah,
And I do appreciate it.
Was that online, Ken?
No, I
I
don't
don't
think this
think it
shows up
was.
on the website, no.
No, that one wasn't.
we don't,
I don't think they were online. I don't think,
Okay.
I
we'll
think
make sure when
they
we're done,
were
everything's
supposed
on
to,
there.
were gonna be, I thought, but
Well, I think anybody willing to deal with all this for what you guys get paid. You got my approval for that.
Oh, thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
that he didn't get it earlier. Yeah, we're gonna end that at 6:27. And we're gonna enter into a public hearing for fiscal year 2025, 2026 proposed budget at 6:29.
Okay. On this one, I did have some observations, Ken. Now, I don't know if you guys have the same page numbers I do. Does your, if I hold this up, so your budget, which I believe this is called your 25-26 proposed budget, dated 3/25.
Okay,
Yep,
So
Yep.
that's in your packet.
yep.
On mine, I think it's page 21. I don't know if that helps you. If we're in sync for where it starts.
What's the
which department are you in?
department?
This one, I'm just making sure we're all looking at the same.
Yeah, we don't have
document.
page numbers.
We don't have page numbers.
Oh, I thought you were using your iPads.
We are.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
What number of page? I'll come down, I'll scroll and count it.
no, that's all right. I thought it was gonna help give you a page number, but what I did is look at where Kara left off on the BSNA
Okay.
sheet from the
27.
February 22nd meeting and looked for anything that wasn't exactly the same. In the column here, the board budget. So I'm pretty much dealing just with the board budget column.
Well, that's what,
And I think I know the answer for a couple of these. If we look at account number 101, 710, 001, which is Township Board Clerical. Kara's, I think, had a different number in it than the 17,680.
What number did she have?
She had 15,000 even, so
15.
why it grew to 17,680, I don't know. I don't know if it's a big deal, but I'm pointing out that it's not the same.
yeah, when I went through it, I corrected that to the 15. I don't know how that,
Which one are you talking about? The Board of Review,
no,
No.
township board.
Clerical, so
Clerical,
training and conferences?
no, listen,
the next one down.
next one down, 710.
So it's called Township Board Clerical. During the February meeting, Kara's sheet from that said 15,000. And now in this one, it's got 17,680. I do not know why it's different, but I'm pointing it out as a difference.
I think that it must have been at Kara's, we must not have did the resolution that we did for the payroll. We said we were gonna pay her $2.17 an hour.
So maybe that's what it was, is that Ken continued with his worksheet and then plugged in something different from what Kara's was.
So it's supposed to be the 15, isn't it?
No, we were gonna give her a $2 an hour raise, so it would be 17,680.
So the 17,680 is what we should use, is what you're saying.
Okay,
And I'm gonna say, in that defense
Where
too,
are you putting that?
right here. Right here, clerical. We had 15, that's what we are paying now. Right here, 710,001.
Yeah,
We decided to give her $2 an hour, so that's what it would be. But when we met on the 22nd, it didn't get put in there. On Kara's worksheet, when we were at the fire hall. Part of that too, she doesn't charge us $60 an hour to clean, like when we called and got some cleaning thing and she's cleaning 2 hours, so I think it's gonna all work out, but
Yeah, I was just noticing it was different.
yeah, so that's that one.
Okay, so then the subtotal for the appropriations, no change then. What Ken has on here. Just leave that and go to the next page.
wait, I had some other things on here.
Well, you can bring those up or you can. Should we
Like a-
do this at the same time, you guys, so that you're not going through some of the same pages twice?
Yeah, what is yours, Gary,
Okay,
on that page?
on this page, I've got the next particular one is in the support staff, it's 710.
Mhm.
And it was in there for $1,000, and I got in here, we changed that to 8,000,
Oh,
like the
no,
previous year.
I remember why.
No,
on that
it was
one.
8,000, and what we did was we took that and did the clerk, so it's not costing any more money, we took it out of support staff. So the
So what-
end budget would be the same.
They
So
did
their
a
budget
split,
stays at 1,000?
Yes.
yes,
1,000.
yeah, so it is different from Kara's, but they had talked that through.
Okay. Next. Down at line item, the township mapping. And I know we only do that 3 times a year or whatever, on 729. That was 4,700. And we left it at 4,700, is that right, for this budget year?
We left it at 0 because when we met in February, we weren't sure if we had to do it every year. So I think when we get to the part where we're talking about changes since then, Ken's got that in a separate section, I think, don't you, Ken?
They started mapping every year, didn't they?
It's
I know-
every,
I
I
know
thought it was
they're-
every 3 years that we did the mapping.
Well, county's
It
doing
used
it.
to be
County,
something like that.
County
County's
does.
doing it, yeah. But I know I just read in the paper, they're doing a new FEMA mapping in Van Buren County.
That's right.
So I bet
Okay.
you that's why. So I think we should leave the 4,700 or put the 4,700 in there that Ken
So
has
are
on
we
that line.
doing that now, or are we doing that when we get to the, what did he call it? He called that like.
we should do
items to
that when we're
consider.
actually doing the approval of the budget. Because right now this is the public hearing and it's on this stuff but we do
That's
need to
already produced.
mention that there are some other issues that we need to talk about. and
Okay,
that being one of them. And really, we could do a budget amendment if they charge us for that. I mean, we don't necessarily have to do that now. And we don't have to do the capital for the computer that we might need until we need it. If you wanna wait and just do another
Okay.
amendment, then I'm okay with
Why
it.
don't we wait till we get to this section that you sent out where we need to look at the different things and pass it, and then we can
Yeah,
discuss it
so
there?
Okay,
I'll just, during the public hearing part, I'll just keep doing these observations then,
Okay,
which there's really, there might only be one that's big. Let me look page after page
Well,
here.
because the other one I've got in here is the very last line, 974, which is computer equipment, and I've got 2,500 in there, which was left blank, so that's probably,
well, that's what he's saying. We can do it.
Yeah,
If we
right,
need it, we can
right.
do an amendment.
okay.
Okay, so as I was checking through these figures, the other one on planning commission, we had planning commission salaries, planning commission secretary. And it could be that you guys combined everything into this 7,500. So this is account 101, 401, 706, and 707.
Right,
Do we need 1,800 on the secretary line, or is that up in the salaries? Because it might be, looking at these numbers. Are you following my question?
where is it, the salaries? One.
We're in department.
planning commission salary is based on 18 meetings
With all the members
with all the members, and then the secretary,
is a zero then.
huh?
Or is
Are you-
that the recording secretary?
No, that will be the recording secretary.
There was 1,800 in there before. There's blank in there now.
Well, I don't think, I
I
think,
don't think there's any bonus or an hourly rate. They might be over budgeted, and I think they are over budgeted. I don't think they're gonna spend that, but I also don't think they're gonna have 18 meetings.
Okay, so for now, all I'm saying is it was something that wasn't the same as Kara's.
So
You guys can-
so we're gonna leave that blank right now?
That's what it is right now, is blank.
Yeah.
What's blank?
Okay,
Okay,
right here.
No, that should have 1,800 on there.
Here,
Yes,
okay.
I put it in there, but I thought the board had to, approve that. Because I think that came after the fact that I did that.
so we're gonna put 1,800 in that spot.
Yeah,
and
Correct.
I think Kara did have it as
Okay.
1,800 in there, but like I said, I wasn't sure if you rolled it up into the other one or not.
Okay,
Okay,
now we wanna back up to where we were.
I want to keep going because I've got a really
Okay.
important line.
Okay,
When you get to the estimated funds and appropriations of the overall Fund 101,
what's the number?
the bottom of the. page.
there is no number.
Right here, so the bottom.
It's
page.
Fund
I
101.
don't have that.
Oh,
I've got this. 101. Right here.
yep, there you go.
So you've got estimated revenues of 490, 424.
Yep,
You've got appropriations of 421, 719. And that leaves a gain, so to speak, of 68,705. The problem with that is when I look at this, Ken, so this is where we're going with the resolution. This adds up to 560,391.
That's what number I have in here.
Yeah,
Mine says 56391.
I see, I don't have that. I've got this.
So that
Which
has
is-
to be a different version.
Right here.
where's the one that was in the board, the public hearing? You using that one, the public hearing one, Gary?
I'm using what was
Okay.
sent me. I don't, see, that's the problem.
Yeah, well,
Things
there's
get
a
done
problem.
back and forth and back and forth, and I never know which
So
one's right.
Mary, you're saying that
Mine says
you have a
560.
copy that shows that for,
Yeah, what he just gave us.
oh, yeah, so that's not the one. That's not part of the packet. That, he might have stuck that at the end. That wasn't what was in the packet.
Okay,
Anyway, it was 138,672 off. for what was recorded in this packet
Yeah, I
before.
don't have it.
So if you have one now that has that figure, Ken must have found where he left off two of the figures in a formula.
Mary's got the one that shows 590 something.
Yeah, I've got 563.91.
Oh, 563.
Yeah, I've got this right.
And that's what I had.
Okay,
So previously, the problem with what we were looking at before is it showed that we had a gain when in fact we have a loss. If we don't make any other changes. So that's why I thought that was a big deal. So Ken meanwhile went ahead and worked on a different worksheet, but that's not what was in the packet. Is anybody following, or does it matter? Yeah, what I'm looking at,
Karen,
In the
you got the one with the green and the pink lines going across it,
I don't
like this.
like that one.
know. I'm looking
If-
at what's in the packet.
Let me get you a copy of that.
Well, I think somebody gave me a copy of them.
If you had the one with the green, you do have the one with the green right here. That's
This is the one that's wrong.
Let me
I don't
get you
have
the
one.
other one, but what you would do is you'd come down to this revenue,
And this is what I got.
these numbers would
And
would
this is what I
match up.
brought from home, and this is
So-
all I
so
had.
wait a minute.
And
So
then
let me-
all Ken gave me was this stuff right here.
Gary needs a copy also, Ken.
This many different revisions is
It's too much.
ridiculous. And they don't have new revision dates put on them.
There's nothing on
And
it.
it's not in this packet. Let me look and see if he updated the packet. But when we're trying to prepare for a meeting. Yeah, what's right here for the public is the low number, the 421,719, which is where we got this. So
Well,
Mary, the version you're looking at that has the right number, the 560,
Yeah,
did you just get that at the meeting today?
I must have.
It was at your desk when you
Is that-
got here.
Yeah, because he gave
is
me,
that 25, 26?
yeah,
Okay, then I've got this
you do
thing.
have it.
Okay,
Yeah, Gary's got his, yeah, he gave these us when we got.
okay,
So yeah, basically, Ken,
okay.
what's in the packet and what you have produced at the desk is not the same.
No,
Well, Mary, let me get a copy of
Well,
that.
he's got a copy.
I have it.
You got a
made
copy?
it-
I don't have a copy. I don't know what happened to my copy. Oh, I probably gave it to that guy.
Oh, I'll go make you a copy of it like Karen.
Well, didn't you make a copy? No.
I thought I made a copy, but I can't
I'll go make one like Karen's going through her.
find the good
Well,
one.
anyway, that was my main thing is that the resolution needs to match the budget detail.
That's right.
And it didn't by 138,672. Which I was able to figure out where it was off.
If I could find the right one, it will. I wonder if I sent it to myself.
Okay, what I have in front of me here is the 25, 26 amended, adjusted considerations. And are you talking about the end of, 101 department? And that shows a deficit of 137,416.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking to Ken. I wasn't even paying attention.
No, it doesn't matter.
So if somebody from the public would have come in to get a copy of the budget this week, what version would they have gotten?
They would have got what was in that folder.
And that folder.
That folder I gave to Gary. And I don't know where the
Tonight?
documents are in it anymore. But that was sitting out there with Ruth to, and I had people come in, I brought it out, I showed it to them, I talked to them about it, and everything was in there you needed.
And that version is the same as what you passed out at the table tonight? Or you're not sure?
That should have been the version that was in our agenda package, and I don't know how I did not get that one in there, but right now I can't even find it on this computer. Which is making my life difficult. I don't get the color right.
I couldn't make it color. You want my color? I can take the black and white. It's easier.
Well, I will be able to check stuff this way if I
Alright,
have the
that's fine.
color on
Okay,
there.
so this is the net appropriations revenue. This is down to 101, right? Very first page, back. Right down there at the bottom. Shows a deficit of, yeah, okay,
So we're on the same page.
yeah.
Okay.
We're on the same page.
Okay. I don't know how to make that printer give me color. I don't know what it was doing. It's like, no.
You gotta pet it first. Nice. Printer. See, now what? Okay.
Okay, your budget resolution. You're gonna see on the first page, it says 490,424.
Right here. Yes.
You're gonna see where it says the revenue of 101, not revenue, estimated revenue. That's gonna be that's not what I wanted, right? Is that what I wanted? Yeah,
Can I come and see
that
what
number is
you're
gonna
doing?
match that number that's in this resolution. So that takes all this stuff up here and it matches it right to here. That's how that number got to there. That's why it's
490?
490, 424 is that 490, 424. When you look for road fund,
So that's revenues.
this does revenues first
Okay.
and then it goes into all
Okay.
expenses.
Yeah.
But each one of these in pink, you'll find in here under expenses. They're over here on road fund expenses, general expenses, and it's by department. And that's where the department number came from.
Okay,
So every one of those I checked to match that.
and that's what I did manually, is check what I had in the public package, and it was off by 130 something. That's why I thought
If
it
it's
was
off by
important to
130
mention.
something, then when they were doing the reconciliation,
Who's
they- they would be the treasurer department,
Oh,
that they would have made some adjustment that would have changed
well, I'll
some
tell
of
you
these.
that I know where the mistake was.
the $131.
Because the amount that it was off, 138,672, adds up to, if somebody forgot to put it in their formula for township board, 137,416, plus zoning board of appeals, 1256, adds up exactly to the difference. So it looked to me like an Excel worksheet formula error,
Missing which one?
which you must have found since on one of your many worksheets.
There ain't many worksheets, Karen. There's only another worksheet. And this worksheet's right off, right from, BSNA.
That's music to my
This
ears.
one is off
Is
BSNA.
off from BSNA
Yeah.
instead of individual worksheets. So that's great. I wish as a public person that did take literally hours to look at these things, that I would have had the latest and greatest instead of,
I hear you.
thank you. It's important to be heard. That's why we come to a public hearing.
You're heard. So where are we at?
Yeah, good question.
That is a good question.
So we've rattled through, finding out we've got the different versions and the different numbers.
Well, we got the right ones in front of us now.
Okay. In the end, Ken, because I don't have that one, are we in the black or in the red for general operating?
Pardon?
Are we in the black or in the red for
Public
next
op-
year's budget for general operating? Are the
For general
revenues or the
operating,
expenses
you
up?
are going to be. Find my right page here. Page is here. Fine.
This says,
Or-
this says 560,391. Oh, that's expenditures, never mind.
So we've got.
You're
revenues of
gonna have a reduction of $69,000. You're gonna spend more than what we have coming in.
Well,
Well, that is, and my whole point of getting to this was so that when you look at the other things that you guys want to review, whether you should change them or not, it's good to know if you're already in the hole or not, right? Doesn't that impact decisions?
Well, your revenue, if you look at the revenue that we estimated this year was $532,000. I think we're gonna get more revenue than coming in than what we got right now. You got 469 coming in. And I think you're gonna have over 500,000 still. But, you know, without having all the actual figures, it's there. And a lot of the stuff that we're estimating is
And that's,
kind of over budget, so that we stay in budget. If you get what I'm saying.
I actually did get what you're saying. You're
Well-
trying to have a conservative estimate so that you don't have to do an amendment mid-year.
Yeah,
So there's maybe a little cushion built in.
yeah. The other thing that you, if you look at this, if you got money coming in from the building inspectors are sitting there at $32,000, that is revenue we should be getting in and going out, but it's still showing up on our budget as a deficit on our thing when we're getting in and spending money. Same thing with the section with selling lots and being paid for burials and stuff like that. We don't record the revenue, so we don't see the revenue. It does come in, but it's not in our budget type. If
Well, you have a revenue section of your.
you have a revenue section and then you have an expense section, but they don't match.
Okay, so right now, if I said roughly, general operating as it stands would be about 70,000 in the hole, am I in the ballpark?
$69,967.
I guess
You're in the
that's
ballpark.
ballpark. Say the number again, 69 what?
$69,967.
Okay. All right. So at least then, when you guys get to the other ones, if you're deciding whether or not to add more money, you know that you're already in the hole.
okay, that's what this is right here then. 69,967,
yeah,
okay.
So those, that summarizes the main concerns that I had. Is I did not want the board to have to make decisions based on faulty information. So,
Okay, so, let's move forward here and see where we're going. We're still doing the budget, and are we doing this line by line?
Well, now we're on to the road. We're past operating, right?
I think
Well, no.
No, I think we gotta make some changes if we're
We
70,000
gotta make
in
some
debt.
changes from this right here that you sent out.
Well,
Well, should we close the public hearing part and let you guys look at more your line by line or whatever you wanna do next? And
well, we should have the public hearing for the,
that was
what we
what-
have, but we also ought to be saying that, streetlights, we need to increase to 7,000. We need to correct the assessors in that section. What else do we have to correct? I think that's all we have to correct in those sessions, or look at them. I'm not saying we have to do anything. We have $400 for trial, for, training and conference. We got $2,000 for miscellaneous for board of review, and we have, 450 for miscellaneous for township hall.
Yeah, see, the one you just
So
talked
you're
about,
looking at this now?
yeah.
Okay,
The thing of it is that was the treasurer, was he's talking about that checks going out, that 2,000, that's a one-time deal, so they wanted to drop it. Thought back to $200.
Yeah, we gotta make some changes, but I don't know how the public thing works, so just let me know when we can talk about that.
yeah, I think Mary and I are in sync trying to decide, is this the point where I've said what I had to summarize the things that I identified? You guys wanna get more specific about
what
what
we-
you do now?
Then I would think if you don't have any more public comments, we close the public comment and get on with the budget.
Because you have right below that, Ken. You've got budget items to reconsider.
Right, which
So
is,
isn't that what you wanna do next?
which is this right here.
I'm so confused.
There you go, you got it in your hand.
Is my hand right there?
Top note,
I wanted to see what the agenda said, what my agenda said.
Oh,
I'm looking at G6, if that's where you guys
that's
are.
G6, yep.
Oh, yeah, you've got.
Well, G5, we have to close the public hearing. Well, we did that, right?
yeah,
Well,
for this
we
one.
have to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, you closed the one for. the
We're
amendment.
in that. We moved over to the other page. We've summarized what we're working on, the main points of the budget. We took public comments, correct?
Correct,
No more public comments?
no,
We're gonna close that hearing at, call it 6:57.
my computer says 7 o'clock, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. I'm using that clock. I'm gonna have to redo that, 7 o'clock. So now we're going into the budget amendment resolution. And we needed to add North Lake, Great Bear Lake on there for 995.
So the resolution, yep, we talked about that.
Yeah,
So
so
now we can make that motion to accept that.
if no one has any other questions about that resolution, yes, we can get a motion and a second and
I'll make the motion with the Great Bear. This is the one we
Yeah.
talked about.
Right, right,
So are we on H1?
no,
25007, the fiscal year budget amendment. And we're going to add Great Bear Lake for $9,520
yep,
of revenue to that, budget amendment.
yep,
Mary made the motion,
second,
Gary seconded it. We gotta do a roll call vote. Ken's yes. Clerk's absent. Treasurer. Mary,
Yes,
Gary,
yes,
and we got Bull absent. Okay, I declare that the resolution is adopted the 29th day of March 2025. And that's goes to Kara for certification.
And that's resolution number 7, right?
that's separate.
Resolution number 7.
This one's gonna be 8. Yeah.
So got that done.
so we're down to G8.
We're down to H3, right? Board discussed the comments from the public hearing. We've already, considered, those and made some corrections. And now we need to take a look at,
The proposed, the 25-26 budget item this. This is what you're looking for, Ken.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
It's in your pile over there.
Your pink.
That's what you did to us too.
This one?
I
No,
think that's, no,
no, over on your left hand by your binder, way over by your binder, pick that pile up, the whole pile. Okay, now flip it over. There it is. Right there, that one right on top. That's it.
That doesn't have all of them though, Gary.
Well, okay.
Just some other ones came in after the fact,
Oh,
but that's a good starting point.
No. There's more.
Oh, that township board mapping. I guess we just asked whether we wanna include that or not.
well, I've got it marked as okay. Based
Well,
on,
here's my thought, is it looks like we're getting it every year now, but I was told that we do it every other year. We don't pay mapping every year.
just because it's in here, doesn't mean we have to spend it if we don't have
That's
it.
correct.
Okay,
We're gonna add it?
$4,700.
Yep.
you put that here so I can watch with you, because I
Yeah,
can't find my
you-
copy.
You got one.
Okay,
Anyway, doesn't matter. The next one down on the one that reconsidered was the township capital, computer thing for $2,500. We left that in there.
Yeah, they're having problems with the assessor's computer.
Okay, then the next one, all the way down to where it's, the assessor's pay. You've got in there 38,430.
Yep,
We adjusted that down based on her salary and stuff to total of a 37,700.
I had an email from her and I took that number from that email.
I understand that.
Okay,
yeah,
We talked to her.
yep,
So 37,700 is what we ended up with for the salary.
So that's a 3% increase instead of 5%.
That's right.
yeah.
3% increase instead of 5%.
you're reducing her salary, right? It's not gonna be the number we
We're
had.
not increasing 5%, we're
No,
increasing
We're giving
3%.
her 3% instead of the 5% that she
And
asked.
her
for.
contract's not up till
Okay.
June.
Yeah, her current is 36,600,
So
so
we're not reducing
37,700 is still an increase.
She's getting
That
it.
doesn't mean we can't leave it at that number and make sure that we don't go over budget, right?
If
What
we-
number?
The
The 60,
38,340.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Why would I do that? Because if we have other costs with parcels or land divisions or stuff like that, they could go up and then the
Well, she's
actual line may not
still
match.
gonna get the 15% on land divisions and parcels. And 150 of them was last year, so
Correct.
I would say we put this in as 37,700. Otherwise, why are we even doing this?
I don't care, 37,700.
Yeah, the 500 stays. The 90 to 135, is it based on 15% instead of 20, so that's reduced to 8,700.
are you writing this down?
Yes. Then the, land divisions at 150 instead of 2,100 is 1,800. The last
How
miscellaneous,
much was that? 21 is out, 1,800?
yep,
Okay,
3,000 for miscellaneous,
okay,
so it brings a grand total of 51,700.
So that's specifically for Department 209 assessor.
Correct.
correct.
Okay.
Then the next one down was, board of review, training and conferences, which is $400, which is fine.
We spent 375 this year, and
400's fine.
okay,
The next one is the miscellaneous for the treasurer, and that was for the checks that was sent out, the 2,000, we're to reduce that to 200, because that's a one-shot deal.
I thought 250.
250.
Oh, excuse me, 250,
That's what
I'm
the
sorry.
board budget had.
Right, 250.
okay,
Then the next one down from that is the township hall miscellaneous, we left that at 450.
okay,
Then the next one down is the street lights,
Right.
and that's a 7,500, we left that in.
okay,
Then the next one down is driveway and tubes, 6 grand, we left that alone.
I got what?
Side, the tubes are good,
The tubes,
the 6,000.
driveway,
Yeah, well,
tubes.
that was already that way,
Yeah.
Okay,
okay,
Now, the next one down is highway, streets and bridges, and you've got that in there at 370, which was what the board budget was, and you've got over here 400,000. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking that little 30,000 is maybe for sidewalks, if you could do the sidewalks, because that's what you got in the wage thing.
oh, I don't think we're doing sidewalks this year.
370 it is.
No, I got their bills, their estimates came in higher than my estimates when I put 12% onto what they did last year. It came out to almost the 370 I have now. I can live with 370, but I will have no contingency. Okay? And we've been putting in 30,000 for contingency and getting into it. But we can do a budget amendment if we have culverts or
We'll
stuff like
wait and
that
see
coming
when
in.
we get our quarterly statements,
No 400,000, the 370.
right?
That's gonna change the bottom number,
Right,
but that'll come out on the computer.
yeah.
Okay, so
Then,
that page I got changes on.
Then the next one's down that you sent in was the firefighters on-call pay,
Yeah,
and you had that at 13,500.
yeah.
We're gonna reduce that down to 6.
If you look at the actuals for the year,
Mm-hmm.
it was 13,454.
is part of that when they had 4 people spend the night twice?
Yeah.
Did that make a big difference, Ken?
That wouldn't make that much of a difference for one night.
Well, I would
Well-
like to reduce it, and then if we need to change it, we'll change it, but then we'll have the reports on
Yeah,
why this is so high.
I can tell you one thing, I just got the 24 annual report. And our fire calls and our EM calls. They're the same as last year, pretty much. We're at the second bottom of the list,
For
Okay.
quantity.
huh? And
For
yeah,
quantity.
What do you wanna make it?
6,000
So just keeping what the.
Keeping
board
what was
budget
in there. for both of them.
6,000 for both of them.
Yep.
Okay,
On the next one, second page. We've got, contract police. This is all fine, the way it is. The way you've got it.
the changes I have,
Yep.
okay,
And that's all the ones that you sent in, said that we need to reconsider. Now, that's not saying that that's the whole budget, but that's the one you said were more important.
Is, I hope the idea is still to try to stay within revenue on,
We're somehow my thing's offline here. Are we not connected anymore or whatever? Or do we know?
I'm connected.
Okay, so we're done with G6 and we're down to G7. Which is, fiscal year 25-26 budget, public hearing, rules and. I thought we were already done with that.
Okay, or H1.
H1. 24-25. Budget amendment resolution. I thought we already did that.
We did.
so are you guys now, I think Ken is looking at this one, and I don't know if this, does this man?
I'm just checking my other sheet to make sure I didn't, we haven't missed talking about something.
Can I ask, the planning commission, we gave them another $11,000. Do we think we're gonna have that much in attorney fees, the $15,000?
So,
Our planning commission's getting $31,000 of our budget. I think we could probably hire that out for that amount.
Where's, what's the line on it?
No, I just lost it. I had it in here.
Planning commission's getting $31,011.
What's their
the
number? 101?
Okay, 14706,
Yeah. I mean, we're going from 24,000 to,
professional
31.
services.
yeah. What is the profession, do
You
you
got
think we're gonna have
15.
that much more, Ken, for attorneys?
Wait a minute, where are you?
I'm right here.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We had 5,900. And we had 8,000. So you think we're gonna have another,
I'm just asking about that. I just,
6? I think that's a little much.
I think if anything, your professional services, we were talking about maybe looking at, hiring a professional planner
oh,
to, look at
so that's
our-
not just
our
an,
master plan this year. So there's
And I
been
thought you
about
said we didn't have to
$8,000.
Do the master plan. this
Huh?
year. I thought you said we didn't have to do.
We don't have to do the master plan, but before this was out, we were talking about doing the master plan. And I said we can push it out. If we push it out, you can drop that back down to about, $8,000
8 or 9.
or less.
I would say we do that.
Okay, we're gonna take the 15,000 and we're going to make that 8.
8's good.
8's probably even still on the high side, but. Anything else on that page that we wanna? We added the 1,800 there, right?
I'm lost now for what you. did.
Planning Commission Secretary recording, we had $1,800 going there.
we added that back.
I added that.
Wait a minute, where are we at? Oh, planning commission secretary, 1,800?
Yeah,
Okay,
707,006.
Secretary,
That's the only two things I have changed on that page.
yeah.
okay. Next page is, zoning, board of appeals, that's 600 for training, salaries. Training is 600, do you think that's enough? I mean, this guy's gotta take, of course, a lot of that's, MTA stuff, you can take
Can I
online.
interrupt you guys before you keep going? For the planning. I didn't have a page to write anything before, so now I do. Did I hear you say that in the planning where it says secretary, you're gonna call that recording secretary and you're putting the 1,800 back in?
Correct,
And then I heard you say for the professional services, right now you've got 15,000 and you're gonna reduce that to something
8.
else.
8,
8?
8.
Okay.
balance it stays the same.
Sorry. But I know I'm going to check all of this after the new
yeah.
report comes out.
Okay, next page.
Well, I'm trying to find a border review here. Well, I had it in my hand. We doing anything with that? We got 6,000 for the salary. Now, they get $150
Wait, board of review,
zoning board of appeals.
ZBA.
yeah, I think that looks,
Okay,
Good.
yeah,
We're okay with that, right? With the township board approved everything on that page, but we got the $7,500 for the streetlights.
that we have to increase.
yeah.
And the drains are gonna stay at the 1,500.
Okay.
For this coming
Yeah, this
year,
page looks fine to me,
just the 7,500 on
Yeah.
that page.
yeah.
So now we turn over to the section on the next page.
Memo.
Yeah.
Gotta love both sides of the paper.
Don't you?
I'm looking at both sides.
Yeah, I am too. I don't have
So
Sexton.
it'd be the top of the page, I believe.
Oh, down
There it
here.
is.
Mine's on the bottom of the page, Sexton.
Wait. I got Parks and Rec, I got Blake. On the page we just looked at, I got nothing on the bottom.
You missing a page? Yeah, it's cemetery, so it's Department 276 cemetery.
What those numbers on there now?
It's, the third page in. If you got double sided,
I'm missing a page.
it
You're
starts
looking at
with one,
What you have right here is different than that one that we're using. That's what we're using.
you know, this one,
Why don't
Yeah,
you
that's what we
use
have.
5 or 6
Okay.
worksheets and see if they all fail?
That's what we
That's
have,
the problem.
Okay.
Okay,
which is your next page, Gary.
my next page is, estimated revenues, 727, fund 275. I must be missing a page. My last thing that we just covered, I was down to fund, revenues of 101. The appropriate, which was the totals for Fund 101.
you don't have a 101, 276.
I've got 275. Then it jumps to 400, goes 673. Let me see if maybe, just a minute.
Should be 101, first number. These should be some of your first pages. Probably the second page in. It's not on the
Mine's way
second page,
down
it'd be
in
on the
there.
third.
That's weird.
Okay, what is it? Is it it's elections, then I've got assessor, then I've got clerk, then I've got, board of review, then I've got.
It's all before that, Gary.
It should go in order, Chair. 101.
Okay, I don't have that.
No, it's after the clerk.
It's after the clerk, it's after board of review, then treasurer, then township
Okay,
hall.
wait a minute. Board of review, treasurer, township hall,
Then cemetery.
cemetery.
Isn't that what you're looking for?
Yeah, we're looking for cemetery.
Okay, all right. Sexton salary, okay, it's 22 on here.
Any questions on the section? We did this at the board budget.
Yeah, I know.
We went over it. We're not changing that.
276. Let me catch up. Sexton cemetery, 22, no, that all looks good.
Okay, so we're good on the cemeteries.
I have nothing to change on this all the way down to where it says,
Building inspector, we went to 16,000 and 16,000 because that's kind of pretty much where we were this year.
well, if you want to speed up anything, I have nothing to do with anything on that page except down to, Department 401 for planning.
We're planning for the 1,800 and the 8,000, right?
1,800. Yeah.
1,800 and 8,000 for the 15,000. Reduce the 15,000 to 8,000.
Yeah, that's the one you were reduced on this one. to
This one
8.
right here?
Yep, we did that to 8,
8,
because we're not gonna do the,
okay.
Okay, the next page is gonna be, Board of Appeals. Nothing changed from the township boards. The street lights went up to 7,500.
Right,
Transfer station,
driveway stay the same.
the township board already approved all that. Professional contract for blight, 10,000, that was approved by the board. Recreation, parks, 5,000,
Yep.
and that takes care of the general fund.
okay, all right. So what's the next one?
That would be the roads.
Okay.
Is that part of that?
201 on the road.
Where's,
The road fund is, 201. And we eliminated the 400 there, made it 370.
street lights? Road, park, revenue, capital, so and so and so and so.
Fire fund, we already adjusted, there's only one adjustment to it, that 370. So now you're in the fire fund, the
Well, hang
206.
on, hold on, he doesn't have
Hang on
201
a
yet.
minute, I don't have,
We,
You should have a 201. Starts with-
well, I should have. Road fund,
yeah, we changed this one.
okay, wait a minute. Let me see if I can just pull out these big numbers. I don't see it.
I,
I got down to the, down
So
to,
that's the end of
that's the end of
101.
101.
Yeah,
Okay, so now we go over here, and this is,
yeah, that's out of order.
yeah, must be. Great Bear Lake,
We're on road funds.
well, I'm
Well,
trying to find it.
He doesn't have a 201.
I don't have it.
You got fire funds? 206?
I'm still looking for road funds, Ken.
Have your paperwork, I'll give it to you real quick.
Well, it may just be out of sequence here.
They're stapled
Apparatus,
together.
I got the fire,
Yeah, the fire.
that's the fire.
What's your
Right
back page?
before the fire is road.
Fire is fire, that's all fire, back page is,
There you go.
Road
It's out of
funds.
order.
it's out of order.
well, it's part of 101, no, it isn't.
No, it isn't. Okay,
Two-
so
we're
we're on
on
road
201.
fund. You're on road fund.
Yeah, we changed that.
Change this to,
Yeah.
to 370.
Yeah. That was the only change, wasn't it, Ken, on that?
Yep,
Yep, 370 is a change.
Okay,
370.
We have,
Where we're at. 206 is underneath that. Is that where we're at?
206 fire fund.
yep, 206 fire fund and, basically, the 20600 is revenue. That's gonna be 248,920. And then we already talked about the fire department,
Wait, where were?
adjustments, right?
So that's revenue.
Like, no adjustments.
48.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, that's
There
good,
we
yeah,
go. Yeah.
okay. And then we're at chief salary, that's the same, we're at the firefighters on-call pay, we reduced that to
8 or
6,
6, whatever it was.
yeah, we reduced that to
We did this
6,
with
to
whatever
the
the board
6,
did.
this one right here. And this one is 6. The other one for the fire training pay, we left that the same. If FICA's the same.
Yeah,
On-call.
Ken's got one in red that was not on the previous sheet.
Right. So no, we're not doing that, we're doing what the board budget was,
Yeah. Okay.
We're matching the board budget all the way.
yep.
It made that easy. I'll just cross everything off. Put down board.
Now,
There's nothing on this.
And everything on that page is gonna be exactly like the board did it.
Yep, he doesn't have anything here.
Yeah,
So that-
JC got to weigh in on all that, so
Yeah.
that's good.
yeah, Jeremy, yeah, JC did.
Okay, so you're down to, the fire salaries. The next page is still part of the salaries.
Yeah.
Fire administration, we're not changing the insurance, we're not changing the firefighting. And we're not changing the station.
What's
Does
this,
everyone agree with that?
what is this?
That will get us through,
Hang on a minute,
Under,
under, 336, under
budget hearing,
under
it says
budget hearing.
109.
We've got, the board budget, well, that's a negative.
what do you got?
He's looking at this line right here.
What's that?
Revenue,
For the fire?
yeah, 336 fire,
Yeah.
the 100. It's in red. So what's that? Where are we at?
Yeah,
That is for the fire. That's how much the fire comes up to. 100 and 700, it's a negative because it's an expense. So that's just for department,
336.
336. Each one of these department has their own number.
Yeah, don't get worried about that line.
Okay.
Don't worry about that one.
All right,
Okay,
Anything that's in green or highlighted, you don't need to worry
Okay.
about that line. That just totals the column.
well then, okay, then all the fire thing else looks,
All the fire on that page is good. You go to the next page, which is gonna be, 341, 727. That's general supplies. We had no changes on that.
is this still fire?
Still fire,
I
no
thought-
changes on
we're
that.
good on all
We're
the
good on
fire.
all the fire.
Nothing changed with the fire.
That one right there.
We're,
Yeah, we're good on
Ken,
it, I'm
Ken,
saying.
we're good with the fire.
All the fire?
Yeah,
We did it. We did all the board stuff, so we
Skip
don't,
down to police.
yeah,
We got police fund on the bottom of that next page then.
police fund, yes,
And we made changes on the police fund.
we
we
did
did.
not.
Those are agreed with, right?
No, that's right, those were fine,
Those are all fine with the way they are.
yep,
Well, wait. Fine with his suggestions,
fine with
right?
what the board budget is.
On police?
No.
That's
What
not
I,
what you
what the
guys said.
suggestions that we had for that,
Oh,
which
excuse me,
The budget hearing ones you guys approved.
we suggested that you get the, 104, the 1400, the 1500 and 6,126.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. The hearing,
That's that change. That would be over here for police.
yep,
So we already talked about that and it's per sheet.
yep. Liquor control's fine,
That whole section should be fine.
North Lake is fine.
North Lake is fine, is correct. Saddle Lake is
Saddle
fine.
Good,
And now you fixed Straight Bear.
We fixed Great Bear, yes.
fixed Great Bear,
And then where we got that 46,920 for contract services for, Bear Lake.
okay, where is that?
That's I got it under saddle, 46,920.
40, that's Saddle,
That's Saddle, it's after Saddle. It's Fund 222, Great Bear Lake, right there.
Great Bear Lake, okay, I got it right here,
222.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's Saddle, turn to the next page, go to the next page. Isn't this your next page?
no, she's got it, it's here.
Mines are all
Fund two,
screwed up.
two, two. Fund two. Yeah, it's this one. You
Anyhow,
have the-
go ahead. I don't have the color. Great
got it?
Bear, we had to add the 95. We already did that. I don't know where it is.
I think it's probably on this page right here.
Yeah, well, we gotta get rid of that 4,700. Oh, yeah, I got it right on here to do
Yeah, you
that.
got that. We
Yeah.
agreed
Yeah,
with that.
so this
Yeah.
is already okayed on previous.
Yep.
conversations.
And that,
I'm just gonna look at yours, sorry.
No, no,
that's gonna affect, some of the things we just did is gonna affect
that's
this.
right, that's right,
And I'm gonna have to
They all
correct
have to
this
That's
flow
right.
through.
based on this.
that's right.
Right,
Well, Carl's gotta fix this.
well, and that's what, when you guys are all done with this, that's what I was gonna ask at the end in public comments is, so what is the process that these all mesh together when all's said and done?
Right,
Well, she's gone. I'm probably gonna put together and make her check it. And then I'm gonna give her the notes and then she's gonna review our,
just make sure you use the right one we marked up, or you marked up, instead of some other thing you put in there.
this right here is everything that I've been marking on.
Well,
Okay,
whatever you're gonna use,
let's get through this. Where are we
yeah,
at?
yeah,
And where it's gonna go right into BSNA.
oh, fine.
And
Let's-
you're not putting it in BSNA though, correct?
Kara,
I put it into the budget, she checks it.
that's not what the question was. The question was, do you put it in BSNA?
I put it in the budget section of BSA and she checks it.
Okay,
Is that okay with Becca?
Well, all he's putting in is the budget thing. And
Well,
then
all I do is the budget.
he doesn't do the amendments.
I
He
do
doesn't
nothing
change
beside the
anything.
budget.
Okay,
And then what we'll do Tuesday when we come in is we'll print it out and just double check it. It wouldn't carry us back.
yeah,
long as it's
because
checked to
this'll
make
be-
sure-
Well, when the board went in, we did it exactly that way.
Okay.
the board one.
The one we did the board, when I put
Yeah.
that in, I put the supervisor one in. She reviewed it, she found two mistakes I made in, typing it in, one was, larger amount of money, the other one was lower money. And we corrected that,
Oh,
and
okay,
it gives us check and balance.
all right.
Well,
So
that's what I'm after.
That's right.
Of course.
Okay, we're down a rabbit hole here.
I think we're at the point where,
Contract services, we've got, that's done. I
Yeah.
don't think
I
we
think
got,
we were done
we
after
got,
that.
you got housing,
Rehab,
rehab, and the board gave 10,800 and 7,800 for professional contract service, and I think that's for your attorneys here. Transfer station contract is 10,000 something for cleanup
We
of
need to make
lights.
sure Kara knows to take out your attorney stuff out of that one. Out of that. Contract services.
I'm lost. I believe.
attorney stuff
Yeah, so,
down here.
yeah, this right here, we approved that amount.
Yep,
I'm just saying we need to make sure it comes out of this fund. So I'll let Kara know it needs to come out of
Okay.
Fund 275.
So you're
Okay.
saying when the bills come.
When the bills come in, we
Yeah.
need to make sure that, cause we just
oh,
got,
okay, we're leaving this like it is.
we're leaving it
just-
like it is, cause we
When you're
approved
getting
that.
bills that come out of here.
Yep,
Okay, I'm with you.
And for the assessor, we're gonna need Becca to make an account,
for what?
land divisions and splits and what was the other thing? The 20 or 15% or 20% of,
Yep.
parcels.
We'll look it up in BSNA. We only wanna use what they have.
Well, they'll have a code for that,
Yeah,
I think.
it's gotta be the universal
Yeah.
code, but yeah, well,
Okay.
which
so-
also should be a revenue, so those should actually cancel each other out.
It'd be a revenue for that.
And do we get 10% of those?
10%.
Okay,
Okay, you got capital, project funds, there's $2,000 for land sales as income, and
Okay, what's the number you're on?
I'm on the last page here, very last.
Okay, what's the number? Cause my page is,
The number is gonna be, Fund 401, it's gonna be 4010063, 673,002 land sales. And we got $2,000 in there of revenue.
right,
And then down there for expenditures, we have nothing. Zero.
what, you mean for, appropriations? For 401?
Yeah, I don't see any, expenses on that.
No, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
There never has been.
Well,
Then we got, looks like we're gonna have a fund balance of about $84,000 there. Okay, did that take care of everything?
I think so.
so for somebody like Kara to be absent and still have to check this, it's gonna be hard.
Let me put it in BSA. I'll give it to you directly out of BSA. And you can take a look at it and I'll give you all my notes.
we'll double check it, Karen.
Huh?
Yeah,
Let me double check.
Yeah.
nothing personal. I'm
I'm
a big fan of,
I would rather have somebody check. Check.
So just send it to me and I'll get it to Karen. Karen and I'll go through it with our notes that we have here after you're done, Ken. And
Okay,
then when
so
Kara
now,
comes in on Tuesday, we'll go through it again.
so now we still have to approve the 25, 26. Well, we can't do that till we get the corrections done.
Or do we? do
You
it
could do it now,
With
with the
corrections.
corrections,
With corrections?
with the
Yeah.
corrections,
Okay,
as, stated.
yeah, okay,
You gonna make that one?
yeah.
I'll second it.
Are we, I would move that we, approve the, 2025-08 general appropriations 2025-26 fiscal year budget, with corrections.
I'll second it.
that's resolution number 8.
8.
Resolution.
Gary made the motion and Mary, that'd be recorded vote. Gary,
Yeah.
Mary,
Yes.
absent in here. Then I vote yes. So. And there's all my corrections right there. Just gonna put that. We have one correction on the amendment. I think I don't have that Word document.
When is Kara coming back?
We're at public comment, Karen.
Okay, when's Kara coming back?
I think she'll be back by Tuesday.
Oh, so we're not talking a lengthy
No.
time or anything, okay.
Yep.
I participated at one level or another in I think 9 budget seasons. And they are painful. But I think the meeting that you guys had on February 22nd was like one of the best meetings I've seen. And so if you think about what made it good, I think, Ken, you did a good job of getting the supervisor's initial one out there early. And then everybody had the same document to look at. And so they had it ahead of time to look at. And it was all done at then. Tonight was a confusing mess. And so this is gonna come up again next year. Mary already said we're gonna be doing it in BSNA, which I think is gonna help a lot. But once you guys get to a point where new things are plugged in, and I'm addressing this really to Ken, you know that you have a tendency to want to keep going and keep making it better is what you're trying to do, but it confuses the other people who left off at a certain point. And if you can refrain from doing that, this one probably would have been smooth too. And I think we're moving in the right direction.
Here's what I can tell you. We didn't get the amendment till Tuesday. I was still waiting for what we're gonna do with the Little Great Bear Lake. And then I found out, I didn't get anything from our attorney till Friday morning. I sent it right out to you. And it's just, everything came in where
Well, that's
I
gonna
didn't-
happen every year.
I got into a time where I didn't have time to actually really do a good job. And I'll admit, I didn't do a good job.
But every year we're gonna come down to a crunch.
We can't be coming down to a crunch. There's no reason we can't approve a budget way in advance of a budget
I
amendment.
agree. It depends on how picky you are for how long you wait for actual figures versus you've got.
Yeah, I don't think we wait for actual figures next year. Everyone else is having theirs done before the first of the year, and I'm sitting at the supervisor meeting like, what?
Well-
Your fiscal year end at the end of the year, and they said, no, March.
Really, it's the amendment that you need to have all the actual figures.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
budget, you
You
don't
don't-
actually.
And that comes right out of BSNA, and I mean, that got done in no time once we
Rebecca
realized
was
what we
pretty quick
had.
about that.
Yeah. Yeah,
And we'll do that next
So
year, maybe we can. do it
we
early.
really have to, this December, we gotta have the supervisor's budget and the board approval of a budget at that point. Nothing's preventing us to overestimate. I mean, that's a good thing. And we can do amendments if we
right,
need.
right. It could be that there's a tendency to want everything to be perfect instead of practical.
You just can't wait till the last minute. I mean, it's just,
Well, I'll tell you one thing that would help me a lot. And that's if you just had a date on whatever time you did it,
Right, on
Because
the footer or something.
somewhere, because if you don't have a date, you don't know which one was the last one. Just put a date on it someplace.
But I understand you're trying to do a better and better job and you're coming under the crunch, but it does create confusion for everyone else. So-
well, it also, when I look at stuff and I see that we're way over budget on actuals.
Mhm.
And here our board made a decision that but this is way out of whack. I mean, that,
Yeah, so your separate spreadsheet was a good idea of these are the things we should still look at.
yeah,
Right,
And don't let that slow you down. Let that be, okay, we'll get to that. But right now, we need to pass something.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and they don't need to be perfect. Because they're
And they
not,
can't
they're
ever
never
be
gonna be,
They're never gonna be
they're
perfect.
never gonna be. Okay. You have any more, we're in public comments,
And
huh?
can I thank Mary specifically for the sacrifice she made? She missed a funeral for a close friend to come
Thank you.
tonight. And if she had not, you wouldn't have a quorum and this wouldn't be done. So God bless you.
Thank you.
Bourbon, right?
Yes, the good stuff, Ken.
The good stuff.
Yeah, it's hard, but I think you're right. I think everybody,
I think everyone worked hard at this.
yeah, and I think we learn every time. Last year, I just skated on you guys. I had no idea what a big deal it was, but it's a big deal.
There's only one time you never stop learning. It's when you die.
Yeah, I know that. Board members' comments?
Hallelujah. Thank you guys. Thank you, Karen, for keeping us on track.
No, I'd just like to thank all the board members. I think they did a really good job. Like I said, my only thing that nicks me in the craw is if there's other new things coming out all the time, and I understand why that happens to some extent. I like a date on them, so I'm not looking at one that's.
Well, you know, I think the one sheet that I gave you where all the changes had to be, that I didn't need any more than that.
Yeah, revision.
That's fine.
That's, that, I didn't need any more than that. I should have just stayed with the original budget and instead of trying to show on that one sheet
Tweak
how
it,
the,
yeah.
cause I figured I'm gonna have to come up with all the numbers to back into this, but once I put in the BSA, they're gonna give me the right numbers.
You know, and I think
That's right.
that's the other thing. We're gonna get we gotta use BSNA and we're just all
Right.
still learning BSNA.
Right,
But once, because that really does most of it.
Yeah, and most of the years that I've come to these was prior to BSNA, so
Yeah.
that wasn't even an option.
Yeah, so I think I think it'll be better. You know, hopefully it gets better every year.
no, it will be better.
I think.
No, it'll be better. We're gonna get ahead of the game next year.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm gonna adjourn it at 7:44. Let's see, we got 07 is gonna be,
Okay, we'll shut off Kira's.
yeah.
Oh,
we're giving you.
step 2. Oh, what do we have to do here, Kara?